Kindly check also, um, uh, verify if the slides is also clear to you. Okay, thank you. Based on the attendance, we have 19 who've successfully filled out the form. This is very important para malaman ko kung ano yung mga devices na ginagamit nyo ngayon. And I found out yan, there are only four, no, who are currently using a smartphone devices, no, Android and iOS phone, and the rest are using, oops, wait lang ha, na-edit ko pala. Sa mga hindi pa um, sorry. So sa mga hindi pa naka-fill out sa form, attendance form, kindly visit our classroom. Ayan. Ayan. So my apologies kasi nag-edit ako kanina lang, bago lang. Kaya hindi ko nalagay yung laptop. Pero I know na your desktop and laptop, no, um, is enough for this course. Okay? Um, and I just want to start muna with welcoming you, no, in this course, and I am tasked to be your facilitator slash instructor for the entire 9 weeks sa second semester term 1 ninyo na um, subject. So, disclaimer lang, no? Okay, wait. And slight disclaimer, it's it's a subject that this subject or this particular course, no, highly requires a workstation. Way back the previous courses, students who have taken these courses, same dilemma dun sa ating mga programming courses, no, that students should be in a laboratory setup. However, in this new norm, it's a part of, no, the challenge for us, no, the instructors, the university, to try to think any possible adjustments just to make sure that the course um, deliverable, and at the same time the objectives are still there, no, though hindi complete at saka the same the flow na the same exact expectation dun sa laboratory setup. I hope na learning will still be significant, no, for the entire week. So I hope na for your cooperation, for your participation, the rest of this lesson na naka-schedule sa TUA will be still significant pa rin, no, kahit wala tayo sa isang laboratory setup. So, okay. The first thing that we will be doing is to know more about the course, no, before we get started to talk about the topics, no, that's the first topic. So, this first presentation, slide presentation, is more about what you will be expecting on the course, no, and what we'll be able to prepare para ma-perform na to ang mga deliverable for the course. And this will also give you an idea for those who are using smartphones for the entire term, no, who will be relying to their Android phones or iOS phones for the entire term. We please be reminded na wala kayong you should not be worried about, no, kasi we'll be doing some adjustment for this um, online server administration na course. Okay, so let's start with the introduction. How do you be able to perform and to catch up, no, for the entire topics, no, for this course? Aside from I will be giving you some reading materials, no, some tawag natin dito, some references, no, additional references. Aside from reading material, there will be also some link, no, for the uh, video tutorials, no, video guides, no, for on how to achieve a particular task given as a topic. So I will ask you to really perform those tasks, no, separately aside from our subject time, no, our scheduled time. That's why I'm asking you to do more parang review, or practice as as you go to the lesson. Kasi per lesson o per topic are related. Ito yung um, unlike the mobile development class, no, the topic were something like still significant naman do in the progress. Pero kasi sa mobile development there are a lot of roles and responsibilities have been discussed, no, aside from graphic designers, programmers, testers. Those are different roles that uh, plays a significant role in a development, no, in a development course. However, in this course, this is more of server administration. We are just talking about one responsible role, no, which is a server admin, no, server administration administrator. Ito yung common role na nakikita natin in every company here in our area, no, in this time. So when you visit a company or even a small to medium to um, big enterprises, there should be an IT department, no? An IT department that manages all of their devices inside the company. Ayan. So in every IT department, I guess there are actually 2 to 3 na mga administrators. Kung small enterprise, that's also that's understandable na magiging one administrator. Yun nga lang, University of Immaculate Conception is considered to be medium enterprise. No, ito yung business na hindi small scale, hindi rin big scale, pero considered to be medium scale. Expected na may 2 o 3, no? 2 to 3 na IT administrator. However, in the person of Sir Eric Imberda, which is our MIS director, siya lang yung mag-isa na nagmaman o gumagawa ng server administrator task sa entire campus, no, sa 3 campuses. I also have I think there's yun pala, may assistant pala si Sir Eric. Baka ito I'm not sure about this one to invite him to talk about the roles, no, na ginagawa niya sa university. Sir Ted, baka ma-invite natin siya. He is also part of the MIS team na nasa sa campus. So baka pwede siyang magsalita, no, onto some crucial parts based on their experience sa MIS department. I was expecting na siya yung mag-handle ng course, no, because of the alignment. However, due to some also adjustment dun sa kanilang offices sa new normal, that's why was reassigned and I was tasked to do some replacement to this course, no? So nevertheless, I will be able to, make sure that the objectives and the plan na for this course will be hopefully magiging significant pa rin sa inyo, no, to para magamit ninyo later if you decide to be a server administrator sometime or someday after you graduate here in your chosen course. I believe that pinakamalapit, pinakamas parang tawag natin dito na mas uh, o malapit na course, sorry, malapit na job opportunity sa isang IT student after mag-graduate siya is a IT related task, no, that includes any job responsibilities inside an IT department. And to think the highest, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, the highest rank to an to any IT department is a IT administrator, and that includes a skill on server administration. Okay, so that's how I encourage you to focus on this course para of course kung hindi man kayo magiging IT administrator kaagad, no, pag graduate niyo, maybe you can also relate some of the tasks kasi napag-usapan natin ngayon dito sa course na to yung ginagawa ng mga server administrator. Guys, do I make sense so far? I hope na I set the task, the tone for the entire course properly. Okay? So, iklaro lang na ako this is something like different from the development course that you have na under mo sa kuha last semester because of the different roles and responsibilities. Ngayon, we will focus only one responsibility, one role lang, being a server administrator. Yan. Yun yung magiging focus natin ngayon dito. All questions about what are the things na ginabuhat sa server administrator, some technical stuff maybe I can ask some practitioner dyan, no? Some like Sir Eric Imberda and Sir Ted for the things that you like to ask me, no? But for the preparation, for the course, for the materials, I can directly answer your questions. Ayan. So maybe you can also use the stream to post some clarifications regarding any confusion or any clarification all throughout the sessions. Ayan. So, yung first slide, yung sinasabi doon, please do have some time aside from our scheduled time to practice. Yan. Kasi most of the time, kasi yung 3 hours natin na setup, 6 hours in a week na setup natin, guys, are more likely a guide, no? Yung para bang 1 hour synchronous, 2 hours, or pwede 1.5 synchronous, 1.5 asynchronous na laboratory activity. Medyo crucial yung laboratory activity natin sa 1.5 kasi hindi lahat naka-laptop or naka-desktop. So we'll be able to adjust to that. And I'll discuss that one later. Okay? So, sir, paano kung saan mo pag-practice kung wala may unit? That's why we will be able to have some adjustment and we will discuss that adjustments before we end the slides, no? Before we end this slide. So what are you going to learn? Guys, nabasa nyo ba yung course details? Most likely, yung nakasulat doon, i-discuss lang ako isa-isa, no? There is ato ang slide. So first, you will be able to build your own lab using a virtual box. Good thing kasi in this generation, may virtual machine na, no, may virtual environment na tayong pwedeng ma-consider. Way back on our time, no, dun sa college experience na ako, we are not able to know yet, no, the virtual machine setup. Wala pa, hindi pa ganun kasikat yung virtual machine, pero yung remote connection, yung remote environment are already quite popular na those times, no? Pero during our course that time, in the laboratory setup, considering parang 30 ata kami, 35 in a class, kailangan kaming hatiin, no, or mga 15 na 15 students lang yung makakapasok sa laboratory at the same time kasi ang setup namin is dapat isang estudyante, dalawang PC, dalawang workstation, no? Yung isang workstation is for the user exercises, no, normal user exercises, at saka yung isang PC is para sa server exercises. Ayan. So in our setup right now, virtual box, no, virtual environment would really help us to, no, to adjust on that setup na hindi na kailangan ng dalawang workstation. Pero doable pa rin, doable pa rin. If you have two workstations right now available in your area, in your own setup, you can try. No, you can basically try. Kasi mas maganda talaga pag physical yung setup, no, yung makikita mo kaagad na aside from your virtual environment na naga-execute properly, um, kasi sa real world, physical setup naman din yung magmamatter eh, no? Kasi pag pumunta ka sa pag pumunta ka sa isang IT department, no? There should be a lot of workstations to be considered, no? And these workstations are connected to a network, and then this piece of workstations are managed by a server administration environment. So, ayan, I just also want to encourage you, aside from ang ginadiscuss lang nato sa tuang course for the entire term is for the virtual environment. I would still also encourage you, if you have the resources, no, to try physical setup also. So kung may router kayo, maybe you can have your work laptop PC, tapos may laptop kayo. So pwede gawin niyo yung laptop ninyo as your user, yung PC niyo as your server. Tapos i-connect nyo dun siguro sa router ninyo, no switch. And then you can still follow the activity, yung mga guides na exercises pala na ibibigay sa inyo. Okay, make sense, no? So right now guys, we will just be focusing on virtual environment. So if you have your laptop right now, or isang workstation lang, do not worry kasi you can still follow the exercises. Ngayon, para sa mga um, smartphone users, paano nila ma-utilize, no? Paano nila ma-follow yung exercise? We will be having a minor adjustments, no, to the exercises. The exercises per exercises in this course is designed to be for each student, no? Dapat sa isa ka estudyante na siya isa ka deliverable na set of exercises. But as part of the adjustment, we will be doing this as a group, no? As for the moment, kasi ask ko lang sa inyo yung workstations na ginagamit niyo. As for this particular time, I don't have any number yet, no, any number for as to how many members, no, per group yung gagawin natin. But in the meantime, yun nga, rest assured, yung mga smartphone users lang na nag-rely lang sa kanilang Android or iOS phones, please do not be worried kasi nga we'll be doing some adjustment to that. Okay? So, first we'll be able to set up muna virtual environment. And so alam naman natin sa virtual environment, based on your experience sa database yata natin, if you still remember, no, if you have your host PC, ibig sabihin nun yung actual physical workstation ninyo, you can install multiple OS environment on top, no, on top of your host PC o host workstation. So nakainom ba mo na guys? So um, this setup here, we will be able to install a server OS. Yan, magpipili tayo ng OS. I will introduce later ano yung OS na gagamitin natin. Sa OS na yon, mag-install tayo ng server as a role for that OS and a user for another OS. So dalawang um, operating system yung idadagdag natin on top of our host PC. So ayan, kailangan, 'di ba, pag sinabi nating additional resources or additional OS, that includes additional resources to our environment. So RAM, no, memory card, I mean kung may graphics device tayo, should be able to help us a lot, no, in terms of handling the virtual environment. Um, so for the virtual environment, we'll be able to have some exercises onto the how to download, install, configure. Babalikan natin to, guys, just for the sake of part of the course itself, no. Alam ko naman na pagdaanan na natin to, though hindi exactly yung ganitong exercise na ginawa natin during our database time. Dito sa server administration, gagawin natin to in a Microsoft server na setup na exercises, no? Microsoft server na exercises. So we will download, install, and configure virtual environment. I suggest, recommended is yung VirtualBox um, para sa ating course. Okay, before we go to this one, maybe I can ask you in the meantime, no, to look for virtual environment na mga tawag natin dito, alternatives. Can you wait lang ha? Ayan, I'll post a stream, a question on our stream right now, and kindly post your answer via ilagay niyo yung list of available na mga virtual environment software available ngayon. Maybe you can highlight mga five, no? Minimum of five na mga alternative. Isa na yung VirtualBox, ha, isa na yung VirtualBox dun. So hanap kayo ng apat na mga alternatives ng virtual environment, because it's also very important na hindi lang tayo magpo-focus sa isang virtual environment. Though the exercises will be most likely recommending a certain virtual environment, pero as for this particular session, I want you to be informed na marami pang options, marami pang alternatives. So I will post right now tawag natin doon. So our first parang seat work activity na lang muna ngayon. I want you to look for four more, no? Kasi minimum of five. Hanap kayo ng apat pa na alternatives sa VirtualBox and try to, no, to compare them. Tawag natin dito. I want you to compare them features per features, or maybe what can you have on a particular virtual machine onto other, no? So okay, your answer can be in a text form, or your answer can be in a infographic. You can use Canva for this. So those um, who have uh, who who can express more on graphics, or in design, you can use you can use any tool, no, to compare. You can use infographic as an answer for this, and pwede ring text lang, no, para sa mga straightforward lang, mahilig mag compare using text. So I'll just post here um, our first activity muna. Okay, wait lang ha. Hello, check. Guys, can you check the classroom for the first activity for today? So that means kasali na yung virtual box ha. Kasali na yung virtual box. Um, sa mga hindi nakakaalala kung ano yung virtual box na sinasabi ko, ito yung ginamit natin na virtualization tool, virtualization software, way back um, database administration natin no, na course. Ito isi-share ko sa screen natin. Um, ito yung ginamit natin na nag-install tayo ng Ubuntu, no? Para sa ating database exercises. So, dun sa Ubuntu natin, nag-install tayo. Sa loob ng Ubuntu, nag-install tayo ng Postgres na isang database vendor. So, kung naalala ninyo, nasa Mac Laboratory tayo, ay Mac Laboratory tayo nun. So, ginamit natin itong VirtualBox software na to on top of our Mac PC, no, mga Mac computer natin doon, Mac workstations, nag-install tayo ng VirtualBox tapos naglagay tayo ng Ubuntu sa loob ng VirtualBox na yun. Naalala niyo yun? So I want you to not to have a list of alternatives. Pakitingnan guys yung mga available na um, baka makahanap kayo ng unique na hindi ko nahanap. No? So gusto ko mga 5. Kasali na to. So hanap na lang kayo ng 4. Ilagay nyo sa isang infographic ba or document or PDF. Kayo na bahala. And make sure that you have compared their features. No? Compare and list their features. So let's have this. Siguro mga balik tayo mga 1. Kaya ba 1:30? 30-minute activity. So, I'll just inform you where to, dito, update lang tayo dito para makabalik tayo. So, after this, we will continue the rest of the slides. The reason for this activity is for you to know that aside from VirtualBox, kasi ito yung magiging focus natin, ito yung magiging environment natin for the rest of the exercises. Gusto ko lang sana malaman that ninyo that this will not be, server administration is not only relying to VirtualBox. Ito, not only a particular software. It's actually relying to virtualization software which is hahanapin nyo ngayon. Okay? So this VirtualBox is from Oracle. Alam naman niyo Oracle owns Java, no? Oracle owns Oracle is a big company, so they also have this virtualization. So expected na may Microsoft version na to, may Microsoft virtualization na alternative. Baka mahanap niyo yung Google na virtualization alternative, even open source virtualization alternative. Yun yung gusto ko makita, no? At saka kayo na bahala. So balik tayo 1:30 to discuss the rest of these remaining slides. Okay? Sige guys, let me please inform me if hindi enough or hindi nyo na prepare. Pero I think 30 minutes is very kuan kayo. Dako na kayo na siya na time for you to do this one. Okay, so as soon as makita na ako na naka-upload na ninyo, na-upload na ninyo, based on the attendance na 20, no, mga upload na ninyo, siguro mga majority, we'll continue, no? We'll proceed to the rest of the slides. Sige guys, please keep me updated. You can start na. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome back. Okay. Okay, so shall we proceed? Earlier, I asked you to look for alternative virtualization tools for any type of requirement, no, para ka-install mo og operating systems na totally not dependent on any physical devices. So the idea of virtualization, it really helps you to maximize and also better practice, no, yung mga softwares like operating system na just only limited devices lang yung nasa sa inyo ngayon. So for example, you have a laptop, no? Normally, these virtualization tools are good for PC environments, workstation environments. Um, this virtualization could also help us in our exercises and our tasks, no, for the entire course to have a um, parang specific exercises for user activities and server activities. No? Say for example, you will be able to follow some activity to handle creating multiple users. So pwede tayong gumawa ng um, multiple instances of Windows, no? Just using our own PC. Ayan. So let me check yung mga nakasubmit ha. I understand na hindi ganun kaganda yung connection ninyo. That's why you choose to submit text text answers, no, or document. That's still accepted. Nailagay ko naman sa instruction either you submit infographic or just a text. Okay, so just to give a summary dun sa mga nakita ko na submit ninyo, um, you have identified, no, those tawag natin dito. Most of your identified virtualization tools based on your submissions ay mga proprietary. No, ibig sabihin nun, before you can use them, you need to purchase a license, no, on that particular software, virtualization software. Um, Most of it naman din, no, like say for example, yung VirtualBox, yung gagamitin natin na VirtualBox dito, um, some features are paid, no? Some are paid features, but most of the features naman din ay free. That's why VirtualBox are something like preferred or recommended, no, into in beginner environment, no, upon learning server administration. And in all other courses, kung makikita ninyo or kung tanong ninyo ano yung mga ginamit nila ng mga virtualization tools before, um, they highly recommend actually the VirtualBox. Though, take note, Microsoft has its own hypervisor, no? Um, However, Microsoft, in our case, kasi hindi kasi lahat tayo dito, aminin natin, I think siguro iilan lang sa atin, no, percentage wise have a licensed Microsoft operating system, no, up and running in our environment. So that's why I did not refer or recommend the hypervisor, no. Though hypervisor is very para bang crucial in terms of scaling your server administration skills, kasi when you're going to take certifications, no, or something like Microsoft acknowledged na mga certified exams, you need to know hypervisor. You need to be familiar with hypervisor as a tool for virtualization. But let me remind you that this course will not be able you to assist you not to take certification afterwards, but hopefully the course will something like get you in line, no, in line towards achieving Microsoft or any server administration examination. Okay? Um, so yun lang, no? I hope na you will not be able to just um, look for VirtualBox as a main na virtualization tool, because you can also do this, the remaining exercises, though iba lang yung commands and techniques, pero the idea is to host a virtualization not just only on VirtualBox but also on other alternative um, softwares. Can you still nakikita nyo pa rin ba yung aking shared screen, guys? Um, Along with the course, we will be also part of the task is to download and install Windows Server 2016. Um, Rest assured that there will be not no something like issues regarding license or no, kasi yung version na to, napili ko tong version na to, guys. Uh, Aside from this is also one of the I think UIC is running 2012, no, server 2000. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, I just verify that one. Our campus is running a Windows Server 2012 right now, and they are trying. I don't know yet if they have happened to upgrade and migrate to the newest version of the server, Windows Server, but Windows Server 2016 is one of the updated server right now na ginagamit na ng mga recent, no, IT administrators. And if your company is totally relying to Microsoft, no, kasi yun yung napili nila na operating system to run their own business, um, it's part of the business of the Microsoft to keep their software updated, no, and allow to inform their clients, no, yung mga kanilang yung gumagamit ng operating system nila, that they really need to upgrade, no, kasi there will be no longer support for those who have deprecated versions. Ayan, so napili ko to kasi I think na pagka-graduate ninyo 2016 will be still significant pa rin, no? Nevertheless, guys, yung version naman din, we will have a different session for this, no? Discussing different comparing different versions of server, Windows Server in particular. Ano yung pinagkaiba ng early features ng mga Windows servers, no, compared to the newest or recent Windows Server features. At nevertheless, 2000, I see 2016 server version will still be significant after you graduate. Yan. Um, Along with the course, we will be also, I will you will be prepared, no, to um, set up a server. And yan, I think the knowledge you gain from your networking, no, yung mga pag-build nyo ng tawag natin dito, mga different uh, ta- different network setup. I think this is one of the key na that plays important role on that network setup. Kasi yung network setup na yun is just an infrastructure. This one is the implementation of that infrastructure. How do you able to connect them? No, how do you manage those infrastructure better? It's the it's the server administration would be somehow plays a big role on the implementation of that infrastructure. Ayan. So kung ilang clients yung ginawa ninyo, ilang hubs or switches, no, or ilang domain, no, na set up nyo sa network infrastructure, uh, pwede nyo siyang gamitin, no, magiging significant yung knowledge niyo dun sa network infrastructure na yun para maitawid ninyo at para magawa niyo yung first server admin ninyo na setup. So dito gagawin natin, papangalanan natin yung servers natin, no? We will also assigning some local IP addresses. We can't afford yet to assign IP addresses that's available, public IP addresses, no, na can be accessed outside. Yung para bang let's say uic.edu.ph, no, that can be accessed anywhere. Right now we can have since this is just an introductory course, some of our exercises or tasks na pagagawa sa inyo will be most likely local IP addresses lang. Yung parang will be available only to your virtual machines, no? Kung ilan sila lang din yung makaka-access. Okay? Also to add some privileges, no? Yung mga security and some features na kaya lang gawin to a particular user. So tanong, do you have any questions? None so far. Okay. I hope I do make sense, no? Giving you some idea what will be the course all about. Yan. So the course will also include discussion regarding Active Directory, domains, and domain controllers. These are very important tools for a server administration for you to have a secured environment, no, for every users, no, for every group of users that you will be able to create. So para bang imagine that if you have several departments in your network infrastructure, you know, each department have a secured access to their own local folders, local files, something like that. No? So Active Directory domains and domain controllers allows you to manage properly the security and the accessibility for those not just files, no, even the um, access to the network itself, no, the total package for your users. Um, Along with the course, no, for the whole 9 weeks, we will also able to know the students are also expected to create your first domain controller. Just to give you an idea what's a domain controller in this early, no, in this early session, these are parts of your server administration, if part of your network infrastructure that allows a local that performs localization. Yung para bang you just no, group assigned any users, create those users is assigned to a particular group, and then name that group uh, assign that group to particular domain, and sila lang yung mag-uusap doon, no, even if they have a choke or if they have any problem and issues with their domain, the entire tawag natin dito network infrastructure will not be able to be affected, something like that. So para bang the problem of Bonifacio campus alone will be resolved and will be also affected. Bonifacio campus will users will be only affected if there will be some issues on their own domain environment. So something like that. No? So Bangkerohan campus and Bahada campus will have also have their own parang issues na i-deal kasi they we have three different domains na in the entire university. So parang bang Bonifacio domain, Bangkerohan domain, and Bahada domain, something like that. Um, you also be expected to know some best practices, good practices in naming some domains. No, I guess you have already identified. You have any idea what's a domain right now, but in the context of Windows Server or server administration, domain is quite more technical than this image that you have seen right now. No, um, we will be able to know some parang best configuration set up protocols for a domain. Pag-uusapan natin yan separately in a different session. So, yun, you will be also expecting that one, guys. Another one is you will be uh, we are expected to build a privileged administration workstation that includes roles and responsibilities per workstation. Ano yung kaya niya lang gawin, no? Ano yung mga um, though this can be very tricky kasi pwede itong gawin sa firewall, no? Pero the main thing here is this privilege administration is controlled by a server, no, by a particular administrator. So um, even the administrator is not available um, no, physically dun sa workstation itself. This can be performed remotely. No, this can be performed by any scripts and via privilege administration. Yeah. So imagine a case no, yung para bang nasa laboratory kayo, di ba? There are some websites that have been blocked or limited. Imagine how many workstations we have in Bangkerohan. So it's more 100 plus, di ba? So something like that, 100 workstations. Now, it can be hard for an IT technician to go to each workstation, no? Each workstation and add those permissions to those black websites or even permission to those utilities na pwede nyo lang gawin sa mga workstations na yun. So, better build a Active Directory, no? And assign domain controllers as add roles and include privileged administered workstation para gawin mo lang yun sa isa server mo, and this will be broadcast for the entire domains who have been something like diba, imagine those tasks na instead na pa isa-isa i-install yung mga filtered um, black sites or something like that. You can just do that one in a server environment. Do it make sense, guys? Thank you. Um, well, those are just introductory, no? Those are just concepts na would somehow give you an idea and spike, no? If ever you are into IT administration, IT server administration, baka dito mahanap niyo yung another skill na gusto nyong ma-explore sa IT career ninyo. And as I said, this is also a very parang plays a very important role in an enterprise or in a company. So each company really mapa small, medium, tsaka large scale na mga enterprises or company really requires IT department. No? So these are just one of the many tasks na ginagawa sa IT department. Um, what are you going to learn in this course? That includes a remote server administration. So RSAT, um, RSAT kasi tawag dun sa Windows, no? Ng kanilang remote server administration tools. This quite a tricky in this part. I think this session will give us a hard time to fix some issues. I'm doing this on a separate workstation last 2 weeks ago and encountered some issues regarding RSAT. May mga issues includes the tawag host machine issues, no? Ano yung mga ginamit natin na host machine sa ating virtual PC. So hopefully this will be discussed, no? Smoothly dun sa scheduled session for this. But the main idea of RSAT is for you to perform those administered privileges, no, in a remote setup. In a remote setup, you don't really need to go to the location, no, for you to set up the privileges, no, the user client privileges. So ito yung sinabi ko kanina, guys, that the main servers, the university has choose Bangkerohan to install to place the main servers, no, for the entire 3 campuses. So kahit malayo yung Bonifacio at saka Bahada, guys, no, our IT administrators, no, at mga IT personnels would have still control, no, have still controlled and managed to perform some administration remotely kasi because of this administration tools na ginagamit sa server administration via remote connection. So sa atin, just imagine, we are just doing this one on a host PC, ha. Host PC lang kasi yung kaya natin gawin. So parang simulation na lang din yung magagawa natin dito na just imagine, no, that let's say we can install 2 users, 1 server, or 2 clients, 1 server on top of our host machine. Imagine nyo, guys, no? Imagine your PC, no, your laptop ngayon. Mag-install tayo ng isang server OS, 2 client OS, and then let's say this client is physically located na far distant doon sa another client. So, ganun lang kaya natin na for this course itself. Pero, nevertheless, if you apply this one into a physical hardware, it's the same setup, no? It's the same setup naman din, guys. As well as best practices that will also be included in this course. Design the course also includes us to know how to design your first organizational unit structure. No, look at the screen right now. This is an example of a OU na for accounting firm. No, so I think you're familiar with organizational chart. Those organizational chart for every company will be your basis, no? Kung ano yung magiging OU structure ninyo sa server admin setup. So, ito dito nyo malalaman, dito rin ninyo makikita kung ano yung magiging, ilan yung magiging domain ninyo, ilan yung magiging users or client o end user clients ninyo. Kasi makikita ninyo dun sa dulo. Kasi this is a tree, no? Look at this as a, if we consider this one as a tree, dun sa mga leaf natin, makikita natin yung mga end users natin, no? Dito natin makikita at somehow better provide a administration structure to our server. We need to have a established OU structure for us. Yeah. And I said a while ago, no, dun sa ating OU, may end user tayo na tinitingnan. So, sino-sino yun sila at saan ba sila nakakonect? Based dun sa, kung ifa-follow natin yung OU structure natin, saan sila nakakonect at ano lang yung kaya nilang mga gawin dun sa kanilang mga workstation. Kasi may mga clients tayo based on other case studies, no? Na ito lang yung kaya nilang gawin, no? Yung workstation na to is para sa pang-print lang, no? Yung workstation na to is para sa database access lang. Yung workstation na to is for a staff, for a client na end user client na kaya niyang mag-access ng mga word processors lang, Excels, no? Or spreadsheets lang yung kaya niyang gawin. At saka may mga workstations na yung mga kaya lang nilang gawin is browse lang, no? Nang browse lang talaga sila ng web or something like that. So, you can have several user accounts and by managed by your OU structure, you will be able also to achieve that within this taking up this course. If you're not familiar, pala hello? Check. Ay, medyo nasa peak hours kasi tayo, no? So, yung bandwidth, I think, intermittent na naman. Um, is visuals okay? Audio visuals okay na ba? Sir, okay. I think dito sa nakikita nyo sa screen ngayon, I don't know if you're familiar with signing onto any Windows operating system pero using other user na hindi yung naka-built-in. Ito I think makarelate kayo dito sa mga laboratory natin before. Sa mga computer laboratories natin, most of it may nakasulat na ComLab, no? Or ano bang nakasulat doon? Computer Laboratory Workstation 201-1, no? Something like that. Yung may mga ID na. Kasi ito yung paraan ng server administrator na malalaman nila yung mga activities ng client na yon. No, that's just not just aside from browsing, not totally to the private itself, no, private activities, but most likely yung mga common tawag natin dito, user activities, no, na ginagawa ng isang bakit ko pinili yung Windows over Linux administration. By the way guys, my Linux server administration guys and also my open source server administration na mga case. ng mga alternatives. So napili ko itong Windows Server Administration kasi aside it's just also popular um, right now in the market, at saka in the industry. Ito din yung familiar sa akin, no, way back the college days also. So before it's Windows Server, naka Windows XP pa kami noon, no. Maalala niyo pa yung version ng mga older version ng Windows. So maraming ang nag-iba, UI itself, pero yung mga terminologies, techniques, and some theories are still there, na is intact pa rin. So that's why I'm saying, after this, makompleto nyo yung course na to, baka pag-graduate niyo lumabas yung 2021 version ng server. Baka expect nyo lang guys, iba lang yung UI nila, no? Pero yung ito yung Active Directory, domain controller, yung mga nabanggit ko kanina will still be part of it. Ayan. So ganun dapat yung understanding natin dito, no? Alam naman natin every other version of this operating system, isa sa mga highlight nila sa changes nila doon is yung user interface. Okay? But so ganun guys, that's what you will expect, no, for this course. Usapan natin yung mga major deliverable. All throughout the course, expected na may ipopost ako ng mga activities. Iba yung activities guys at saka task. I will give you an emphasis on that. Activities will be something like research work, no, short essay or short answers, opinion-based or open-ended questions. Ito yung pag magtanong ako, what's your idea behind this, or what do you think, something like that. That's an activity. Infographic, something like that, or video comment. Ayan, that's an activity. Task is different, no? Task will be, I can consider task to be part of an item to the term exams, no? Pwede sabihin ko na itong task na to will be a part 1 for the prelim or midterm exam, something like that. So ano yung pinakaiba ng activity tsaka task? Yung task naman guys is ito yung guided exercises na may mga list of parang things to follow, things to be done in a virtual machine environment, no? So you need to follow the task, to perform all of the instructions sa sulod sa task, and then achieve a certain goal, no, for that task, using or with the help of your virtual machine environment. Ayan. So yun yung pinagkaiba ng task at saka activity. So activity, most likely hindi involve yung virtual machine. Pag nakakita kayo ng task, immediately think of accessing your virtual box, something like that. Okay? Clear ba yun? Anyways, nakalagay naman din dun sa classroom natin yung type of deliverable, no? Pag may nakasulat na activity, yan, open-ended question yun siya. Pag nakasulat na task, that will basically require your virtual environment. So this time, I added case studies. Remember, this is a new normal setup. I expect that not all of you have a laptop or good PC workstation working for this course. So I rather, instead of it's an individual task, no, individual deliverable for each task, no, for each student. I suggest to consider, or I recommend to consider a grouping for this setup. So case study will be group by group, no. Term exams, some of the items will be individual, but I think most of the item, kasi that will involve virtual machine environment. Basta any requirement that involves virtual machine guys na environment, that will be automatically by group. Did you get that one? Basta gani na virtual machine ang na mag-involve og virtual machine ang task o ang item ang pinapagawa sa inyo, deliverable, immediately think of it as a group already. So right now, we'll discuss later on the next slide, by the way, how do we achieve this grouping. But for now, is this deliverable clear to you? This will be the, at least you will expect na hihingin ko for the entire course. Projects, I guess case study will be somehow like better term for the project. No, um, no projects this time, pero case studies. No, there will be case studies per group. By the way, okay. So I guess there's no question, no more questions about this one, these slides. So I hope I made myself clear within this deliverable. And okay, let's, yan. So let's go to this new norm adjustment. So based on my previous experience sa server administration, it should be in a laboratory setup. No, since we don't have any access to laboratory sa university nato, we'll have a adjustment. So this adjustment includes groupings instead. So the groupings right now, I'm looking at a number. Wait lang ha, I'll bring the, show to you the attendance. Balik ko yung attendance natin this afternoon. So may 24 na, ayan, 24 na tayo. 24 lang ba lahat? Sino pa yung alam ninyo na, nakita ninyo dito na, based sa alam ninyo, sino pa yung wala pa dito sa klase natin? Pwede niyo pa chat. Lagay niyo sa chat box, guys. So ito, 24 yung nasa listahan ko. And I have more or less 6 individuals or 6 students na would really have an issue about their resources, yung hardware resources nila. Na kasi they are using phones right now or smartphones right now. So that's Miss Alemania, Miss Colomer, and Mr. Colomer, sorry, and Mr. Delgado, no, and Mr. Marquez as well as Mr. Montaner. Mr. Roble is choose to have this temporary device. I don't know. I think Mr. Roble has a workstation naman. Mr. Roble? May workstation ka naman ata, no? Okay. Mr. Delgado has also a laptop pero not necessarily a best resource unit device na magamit niyo for now. I really do hope Mr. Roble has also a workstation. Pero nevertheless, guys, I've seen the numbers already. PC, laptop has a, ayan, yung mga naka-sign in dito, really don't know yet the specs, no? But I'm looking at a very good specs for this 17 na my device, my workstation, no? So I'm looking at a groupings for I mean a number of members per group as dalawa. So that's just a pair, no? So I hope you can have your pairings right now before we end our class. It's good if we can have this official. I'll just update the stream guys para sa ating pairing. Take note ha, wait lang. I'll ask you to go to our stream and look for tawag natin dun. Look for my post. I will ask you to place your names, the pair names, student names per pair. Yan dito. Wait lang ha. Um, please. Hello, good afternoon. Ayan, paki-check po sa ating stream. And right now, I want you to um, talk talk for your or look for your pairs. Maybe you can have a siguro consult or chat them privately, na separately. Um, and this will be the pairs na no for the entire course. 9 weeks na to, including the activity, the tasks na mga hihingin ko sa inyo. That will includes a virtual box or virtual machine environment. Do you have any questions regarding these instructions about the pairing or let's say grouping? So intend ko yung update guys. So I will also need the specifications for your PC laptop, okay? Or PC or laptop. That includes memory, processing speed at saka HDD para malaman ko rin if I can extend those tasks na na-prepare ko or maybe no cut off some instructions dun sa task that really requires a high hardware specification. So para I can also prepare them properly. Did you get this one, guys? If there will be somebody will no think of, sir, may do you want do you agree if I will go solo? Most likely it would be good no if you have that that one in mind. Pero kasi I have prepared a task na would really no be very good if you have a somebody to talk with no to no to coordinate no along with your idea, especially in those case studies na mas maganda kasi dalawa or group no na ma-involve. So solo would be still good no, but I recommend to find a pair para hindi ka mahirapan later dun sa mga tasks that requires coordination, yung mga um, brainstorming, something like that. So mahirap naman mag-brainstorm kung ikaw lang mag-isa. I hope you are taking your time right now to look for your to choosing your pair, no? Um, uh, I'll I'll have to continue na lang while waiting. Okay ba 'yan? I still have one more slide pa after this to give you the first task na para first official task natin. Kasi medyo late tayo kasi dun sa ating week number 1 na schedule. So, isahin ko na lang, gawin natin kahit na assignment na lang yung task na to, no? Is it okay to continue? So habang dinidiscuss ko yung remaining slide, guys, if you have already chosen your pair, immediately update the stream natin. No, nasa Google Stream yung instruction, yung post. No, hanapin yung post kung saan nyo ilalagay yung pangalan ng pair ninyo. Yung mga names ninyo sa group. Ayan. So we have 24 in the class list, so I think it's even. Walay malahi, no? So you need to ayun yung pala kung if you want to go solo, um if it happens na yung ka-pair mo also have a good workstation, you need to work muna dun sa task na isasubmit. No? Yung kailangan nyo isubmit muna as a pair. Tapos you might want to practice that one individually. No? You can just go directly, you go solo later. Ayan, parang ganun. Mas maganda kung ganun yung gawin ninyo. No? Para ma ma-utilize nyo talaga yung task, yung binigay sa inyo na specific instructions. Yan. Unahin nyo muna yung deliverable per group o by pair. Tsaka kayo mag-solo. Okay. So, I will also ask a task management, any suggestion siguro, baka balik tayo sa Trello regarding the progress, no, or the updates for the tasks. Guys, as I said earlier, tasks are related to each other. No, you cannot be able to perform the succeeding task if you have not parang successfully installed or configured or follow the directions from the previous task. So kailangan talaga um, may mga certain parts na mag-error, may mga issues on a particular task kasi nga may nakalimutan kayo o may na-skip kayo sa previous na tasks, no, previous na mga pinagawa na instructions na binigay sa inyo. So I really have to listen, look for your progress updates. Trello would be very as a recommended task management tool for this. Pero pag-uusapan natin to as soon as we have siguro pagdating natin sa third tasks, yung tatlong tasks. Dito hihingin ko yung link kung saan ninyo, how did you manage to monitor your progress, okay? So, yun. So this time, we'll have the first task. I still don't have updated kasi yung instruction ko sa virtual machine na to way back 2003 pa. 2003, 2013 pa. So I might want give this one as a tawag natin dito. Hatiin natin, no, for this week may I have muna a download at saka install. Pagbalik natin on week number 2, umpisahan kaagad natin yung task number 1 to continue dun sa configuring of virtual machine. Madali lang man to, guys, no? You just need to know you just need to download at saka install properly the VirtualBox, tsaka natin i-configure yung virtual machine ninyo. So, task 1 natin dito for the remaining minutes. I really don't know if you have a better or good internet connection. I hope so. Pero in the meantime, ikakat natin to, yung task na to, ko-continue natin on the week 2, no? Next week natin. Hopefully maka-achieve tayo ng 2 task next week sa week number 2 natin, no, before going to the term evaluation, yung prelim. So prelim exam. So hopefully you can have your pair right now and then talk to your pair kung kaninong PC yung gagamitin ninyo for the submission for the deliverable. By the way, guys, ang deliverable na to, guys, is a demo, a video demo, no, for the task. Di ko ba nabanggit yung kanina? Minimum requirement is a tawag natin dito, minimum requirement for each task na talagang na-perform ninyo is a screenshots with a tawag natin doon, screenshots with a explanations, no? What did you do or what have you encountered or any issues regarding, parang a slight discussion, no? A little discussion about each screenshots. And that's the minimum requirement. The maximum requirement for the task deliverable is a video demonstration with or without audio. If without audio, you can submit a parang separate readme sheet. No, readme parang things na babasahin habang pina-play yung video. Yung parang bang SRT. Tama ba doon? Yung parang captions for that video. Kung with audio naman, ayun, yun yung recommended requirement, no, recommended submission type. Pag sinabi kong recommended, hindi na kayo mahirapan to really prepare for your deliverable. Yun nga lang, if your hardware resources, yun ba, yung laptop, yung workstation ninyo, would not be able to have been parang efficient to to prepare a demo video with audio, something like that. You can still choose the minimum suggested requirement na screenshot with um, attached document, tawag natin nun, explaining the images for that screenshot. Do I make sense, guys? So, kayo na bahala sa pair ninyo kung ano yung magiging mode of deliverable ninyo. Basta I recommend yung demo video. Sa task lang to ha, per task, mag-submit kayo ng demo video. Kung may audio, much better. Kung wala, lagay kayo ng caption or separate text na SRT file or something like that. Or should I say screenshots with explanation. So gawin natin to ngayon, download at saka install. By the way, the link will be provided. Sorry. So I suggest a Oracle VirtualBox kasi um, there will be some part of our task na may mga instructions doon na kailangan nyo lang i-follow. Para hindi tayo mahirapan na mag-follow na instructions, na-prepare ko kasi yung mga instructions na yun using VirtualBox. So, nevertheless, kung gusto niyo i-try to sa ibang virtual machine environment, so I suggest na to do this one first in VirtualBox before nyo i-try sa let's say VMware, no, or other virtualization tools, software tools. Okay, so that will be all for now, guys. Again, the configuration part will be so parang may task 1.1, task 1.2 tayo dito. Separate natin yung configure kasi itong configure, you just need to follow this one naman eh. So it will need more time. That will be on next week na lang, not week 2 na to. But kindly secure a task 1 submission within this week. So I will post a classroom classroom link for this. Hello, check. Okay. Hello? Ayan. So guys, yun lang muna. So I'll not be taking much more of your time. You still have roughly 20 minutes um, to choose your pair, to discuss some things on for the future task na mga i-assign sa inyo. And yun, maybe you can have your download at saka install of the virtual machine later on your vacant time. Basta make sure provide a submission for this task. Now, this is task 1.1, should I say. So, task 1.2, that will be next week for the configuration of virtual machine. So, I will also give you a link later for the OS, no Windows Server operating system copies ninyo, ISO copies para pag-install. Pag i-configure na nato ang virtual machine, dali na lang ninyo makuha. I think it's 6 gigabyte kasi guys, so you really need to have a stable. Yun nga pala, baka makalimutan ko. If you happen to choose a pair, mas maganda yung pair, isa sa pair ninyo does not have any issues regarding download cap. Tama ba yun? Yung sa bandwidth nga ninyo, yung para bang, kasi you need to download, I think, a 6 gigabyte, no? Or roughly 5 to 6 gigabyte na Windows Server 2016 na ISO. So basig nagabayad lang mo og kanang kuan karon kanang tawag ninyo naka-data lang mo, I rather not to suggest that kasi nga gamitin niyo as mag-download kayo kasi nga mga 5 wala akong mahanap na ibang version na naka-compress eh. 5 gigabyte talaga. So yan, pag-uusapan natin yan siya. If you have an issue, you may use our stream, no, if you have any difficulty downloading or any problem with our tasks. So this time, I think this virtual box is not that kind of no, siya nga size. So you can manage to download it on your vacant time. So that will be all for now, guys. I hope you will update the stream for the list of the pair. Okay ba yon? Later ko na lang tingnan ko ano yung magiging decision ninyo, sino yung magiging pair ninyo. Don't forget to write the specifications of your workstation, yung memory size, processing speed, at saka hardware drive, yung vacant hardware drive ninyo. Sige. Good afternoon everyone. So daghang salamat sa pagpaminaw. I'm hoping na you have understand or set up the idea of what will be the expectation for the entire course. Daghang salamat sa pagpaminaw usab mayang hapon.